Well, and a very good Friday morning to you. It is time for us to take a look at our international and U.S. news for this Friday morning, January 27th, 2017. With Trump in the White House, the annual March Against Abortion, it's called the March for Life. It's happening today, and they are energized for the march. This may not be, this may be the first or only you're hearing of it, because there's been kind of a general media blackout about the event, even though it's in its 42nd, 43rd year. This is something that's going on for some time now, and yet virtually no coverage leading up to it. Of course, last week there was an unprecedented march on Washington by women who were generally pro-abortion, especially in terms of the signs that they were showing and, marching around with. So that might have something to do with it in terms of giving the coverage to people who are of more like mind, the ones who are behind the camera. Either way, that march is happening today, and they are hopeful for the first time in years that they could actually get the government to change things to the way they want it to be. The Mexican president has canceled his planned visit to the United States over Trump's order to build that border wall. That meeting was supposed to happen next Tuesday, and now it will not. Trump then immediately said it was a mutual decision. The entire senior management of the State Department has resigned. Apparently they've quit in a gesture of defiance to Trump, afraid of where his foreign policy is going to take the nation, and they don't want to be any part of it. Madeleine Albright and one of the actresses from Big Bang Theory, these two have said that they're ready to join the Muslim registry if one is created as part of the Twitter hashtag solidarity. So check that one out. Also, a number of protesters have gathered in New York. This happened on Wednesday as fears grow over Trump's immigration policies. Also, that question of did millions actually vote illegally in the United States? If, as Trump has claimed, the only reason why he lost the popular vote was because of all illegals who were voting, that means that over 2.8 million people voted illegally. That'd be like 2% of all the people who actually voted. Once again, there's not been one shred of actual evidence introduced on this topic. I know a lot of people want to believe it's true, but there's been no evidence that it has actually happened. President Trump also apparently is parroting Fox News. And I say this apparently because I personally don't pay that much attention to what he says or what's on Fox News. But now for the third time in the last month, he has tweeted something within minutes of a segment that aired on Fox News that used the exact same phraseology that Fox had used. In this case, it was about Chelsea Manning and talking about the weak leadership of President Obama and calling Chelsea Manning a traitor. Also, the Standing Rock Sioux tribe says that President Trump is breaking the law with that Dakota Access order, the executive order that he's right now on track to issue more executive orders in the first month of his presidency than President Obama did in his entire 8 years if he continues on this pace. Also, the Kremlin has proposed the restriction of the Internet in Russia. And what they're saying is what they need is a Chinese model, the total control over the Internet. Because after all, information is power. The EPA staff fears that the Trump administration is going to suppress their climate science. Right now, the total freeze on the EPA, it's not just about their grant money. It's also that he's frozen access to their website and that he's now frozen access to the sharing results of their studies and the things that they're doing. So they're experiencing stress and fears that some kind of an ideological purge is underway. Also, it's been talked about, but now it has actually happened. The first ever human-pig chimera has been created. You know what that is, right? They've actually taken, this thing is part human and it is part pig. They're creating it for the intent of harvesting its organs. That's going to be the subject of my commentary today, by the way. And just in case you don't have enough stress in your life, they've moved the Doomsday Clock from 3 minutes to midnight to 2.5 minutes to midnight. That's the closest it's been since 1953. 1953, it actually got to 2 minutes to midnight after the hydrogen tests by the Russians. Now, and it's been moved back when, the START treaties and other stuff. And now it's at 2.5 minutes to midnight because of the incoming president and all of the tensions around the world. On that happy note, happy Friday to you. You like what I'm doing? Please support me either by buying a subscription at my website, radiofreespeech.com, or by supporting me on Patreon, or by buying some advertising. All those options, of course, we can talk about. You can email me, steve@radiofreespeech.com, either about that or if you have a news tip or something that you'd like to hear me do a commentary on. All of those and more, radiofreespeech.com. Thanks.